For the first time in over a decade, the race in Massachusetts' 10th Congressional District seat will not feature an incumbent. This time around, a pair of state legislators from Cape Cod will be throwing their hats in the ring to represent the Cape and Islands in the United States House. For the Republican, State Representative Jeff Perry, and for the Democrat, State Senator Robert O'Leary.
The Cape and Islands are known by many as a summer resort area surrounded by ocean and picturesque sandy beaches. This area is also known by lawmakers as the Bay State's 10th Congressional District, a seat that's been held in the United States House of Representatives by a Democrat since 1983, and most recently by Bill Delahunt, who has been the Cape and Islands congressman since 1997. Following the January election of a little-known Republican state senator from Methuen, Republican State Representative Jeff Perry decided that it was his turn to take his message from the State House to Washington. After announcing his intention to run in January, Perry hit the ground running with a ribbon-cutting ceremony at his congressional campaign office opening on Cotuit Road in Sandwich. The Saturday event enjoyed a pretty good turnout of Perry supporters.
I've known Jeff since the very beginning. He's had a tremendous time in the state rep seat. We all appreciate it, and this is a huge step for him to take. But I can't think of anyone that I would rather have represent me in the U.S. Congress than Jeff Perry.
We caught up with Representative Perry in his other office in downtown Sandwich to get some insight as to why he was entering the race this time around.
I don't think it's good for the individual, and I certainly don't think it's good for the institutions and the culture of government to have people in office, including myself, in any one particular office for a long time. Back in 2002, I said, there's no reason for people to stay there more than a decade. And so I'm completing my 8th year, and I was thinking about what would be the next level for me to serve at. Where can I work on the issues that I care about? And I was reflecting on those issues, and quite frankly, they're federal issues. They're health care, they're immigration, they're supporting the military, they're issues of budget and the national debt, and certainly I've been working on those issues at the state level, but really those issues are best dealt on the federal level.
Running on a conservative populist message of lower taxes and less government spending, Perry lamented the fact that his party didn't do enough to curb these elements during the 8 years that George Bush was in office.
Well, some of my biggest disappointment was when the Republicans had the White House and both houses of Congress, and we didn't do what we were supposed to. We missed the opportunity to do some good long-term substantive policy changes for the country, and we didn't do it. And what happened? We got fired. And now the Democrats have that control. And it appears as if the momentum's switching back because the people are not satisfied with what the Democrats are doing, and they're going to get fired. And that's how it's supposed to work. That's the system that we have, this republic. And I think that's a healthy system.
Despite the controversy that often surrounds the Tea Party movement, Perry says he likes the energy that they bring to the political process.
I'd love to have their support. There's a lot of energy. I won't be soliciting their support of an entity like the Tea Party because there is no entity like the Tea Party. There's no Tea Party headquarters. They're just people. They're just people who care about their country. They're very patriotic. They care about many of the same things that I care about, and I'm sure that my campaign will resonate with them.
Jeff Perry has enjoyed great popularity in Sandwich. How that translates in a race with national ramifications remains to be seen. The recent announcement that Congressman Bill Delahunt would not seek another term in office left Democrats scrambling to find a replacement for the popular lawmaker. State Senator Robert O'Leary, a professor at Mass Maritime Academy, has been representing the Cape and Islands on Beacon Hill for the last 10 years. We managed to meet up with the senator in his Hyannis office before he headed off to Boston. Having entered the race much later than his Republican counterpart, O'Leary still appears to be crafting his message.
Well, again, I've been involved in local government, and I've represented the Cape and Islands for a long time now, and I just love being, involved in public issues, public service. And when Bill announced he was going to step aside and not run for re-election, I kind of went off in a corner, thought about it, and thought this is something I would really like to do, and I think I have something to offer. I think if you look at my record in the State House and in Boston, and my record in the community here on the Cape as a local official, I make things work. I get things done. I've been very successful at things that I've taken on and tried to make happen. And those are the qualities I'm going to bring to Washington if I get elected.
He wants to make certain not to make the same mistakes that Martha Coakley made in her January bid for the United States Senate.
Well, you have to first of all ask people for their vote. I don't think she did. That's a sort of basic politics. People want people who are running for office to ask for their vote. So I'm asking you to consider me for the 10th Congressional District.
With regards to the president's stimulus program, O'Leary had this to say.
Well, you know, it's helped. I know Scott Brown said it didn't create any jobs during the campaign. I mean, I was there. You know, that money came into the state, and the state then pumped it out in the form of mostly highway money, transportation money, and then into town budgets for Chapter 70, what we call Chapter 70, which is school aid, and police and fire budgets. So really what it did is it saved a lot of teachers' jobs. I think we put, I believe last year, $160 some odd million into local budgets that we wouldn't have otherwise done but for that stimulus money.
With the primaries and the general election still months away, the candidates each face a long, tough road from the State House on Beacon Hill to the People's House on Capitol Hill.